you know, you know, man. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Eastside Hood G, man. Coming back with another video. And of course, it's a good day to be a Raven, especially now that we got our offensive line problem taken care of. And what I mean by that, if y'all ain't know, we just signed former Cleveland Browns center Ethan Posick. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, so we're gonna go with Posick. You might hear me say it differently here and there, but that's what I'm talking about. So for me, let's start here. I never thought that I would be excited about having a Cleveland Browns player on my team, but I am. For many reasons, though. I seen a few people did some videos about it, did some reviews about the acquisition of Ethan Posick. But I guess some people didn't go in as depth as I feel like I'm about to. I feel like this is a bigger deal than what people think. Yeah, we lost Tyler Linderbaum to the Raiders. And on that note, congratulations to Tyler Linderbaum, man. You earned it. And they gave you a lot of money, so I probably would have took that too, man. But it's bigger than just, oh, we replaced the all-star center on our team. You know, and honestly, we can't. It's still hard to say that we technically replaced them yet because Linderbaum, like I said, he's a Pro Bowler, this, that, whatever. He was really good. And Ethan Posick is good as well. But, you know, are they really on the same level? But anyway, overall, I think it was a good pickup because if you watched last year, our offensive line was not good. And I mean, I say that in a nice way. It wasn't good. We gave up a lot of sacks. Actually, Lamar Jackson was sacked so many times last year. I believe it was 36 times last year. There was one game where he was sacked 7 times. I believe it was against Detroit. How do you get sacked 7 times in one game? You know what I mean? So it's something's got to give, man. So it was really bad last year. So Ethan Posick apparently is going to fix that problem because in his 4 seasons, I believe, with the Cleveland Browns, he only gave up 8 sacks. So that speaks volumes itself. You know, we probably had one guy on our team give up 8 sacks alone just last season. So that sounds like improvement, and we're really hoping so. Yeah, he's coming off a Achilles injury, but he's had some time to rehab, and we're really just hoping for the best. But to get back on how many times Lamar Jackson was sacked, just because it's so significant. If you pull up the schedule and look at the numbers, I know a lot of times he was sacked for starters was on our own territory or in our own territory. So if you put it like this, the game just started. We get the ball first. They kick off the ball to us. We run it. We get to the 26, 30-yard line. Okay, we might run a play or two, get production. That third down there, we get sacked. It's always on, or it's most of the time on our side of the field, where we're just getting going, where we still got a lot of field ahead in front of us. So that is not good. You know, that's just worst case scenario, really. We're basically not even giving ourselves a chance to get down the field because we're on our side of the field and then we get sacked. We get pushed backwards. That's where a majority of our sacks came into play. Now keep that in mind. And just to speak on the sacks again, just in general, one thing I noticed is when Lamar Jackson don't get sacked a lot, most of the time he produces at a high level. Now, if you think of his 2019 MVP season, look at his touchdown to interception ratio. I believe it was 36-6. It's an amazing touchdown ratio. This is his second season in the league. First full season as a starter, by the way. With an amazing, I believe his rating was over 100. I mean, it had to be doing that. But he only was sacked, I believe, 23 times. It was a low amount of sacks that time. So you didn't get sacked a lot. You produced at a high level. You produced at an MVP level at that. You go towards the 2024 season where he had 41 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. An amazing, a historic season, you know, a historic performance, you know, with the 41-4. And again, if you look at how many times he was sacked, it was a low number. I believe it was the same as the MVP year. So you just put that as the common denominator. Lamar Jackson gets sacked at a low rate. Lamar Jackson produces at a high rate, and even with the 2024 season, he had a one almost 120 rating that year. So the proof is in the pudding. Look at his and just to continue on it, look at his performance last year. Last year we didn't play great, 8-9, missed the playoffs. Yeah, he was out, but I'll even get into that. But look at his performance last year. 21-7 or something like that. It wasn't as dynamic as the first two seasons. He got sacked a lot. That was the common denominator. He gets sacked a lot. When he gets sacked a lot, he don't produce well. Now you can say, "Oh yeah, well defense is defense, whatever. He's gonna get sacked." Yeah, I get that, but I'm not asking for 0 sacks a season. I'm asking for let's not get Lamar Jackson sacked 36 times a season. You know, and even with that, another thing is I I'm not even factoring in the QB hits. So the sacks are just when he has the ball and he's actually sacked. He can get rid of it and boom, still take a big hit. So you can only imagine how many hits he's actually taken per se, sacks, hits, whatever. He's taking a lot of damage over the games. And just to get on that for a second, because there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot more than just, oh, we signed Ethan Posick. He just going to last season, I know I looked at it. I believe he was hurt. Let's remember he was hurt week 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs, I think. So week 1, I can't remember who it was, but he got sacked a couple times. Week 2, Buffalo, maybe he got sacked a couple times, or three times, something like that. Week 3 against Detroit, I believe he was sacked 7 times in one game. So 7 times. So even up to that point, we're talking what, like 12 sacks in 3 games or something like that. It's like 4 sacks a game. And again, this ain't including the QB hits. So these are just like you got sacked 12 times before you get injured, and then we wonder, oh, well, why he got injured? Well, you taking all these hits, and then even in the Kansas City game, he got sacked 3 times in that game, not including the QB hits again. So he was taking a lot of damage, man, and even just to stay on there for a second, this is kind of like a 2-for-1. He was taking all that damage, and he still was like top 5 in this, top 20 in that, top 15 in that. But we got him ranked at 69 or whatever it was on the NFL 100 players, 100 whatever, 100 players. It's whatever, but that's another story for another video. But my point is, he was taking all of this damage, not getting blocks, but he still was producing at a decent level to miss, I believe it was 4 games, to miss some games. He still was producing at a decent level without all that protection. Now, let's just speak on that for a second again. Lamar Jackson couldn't pass well, obviously, last year because of the lack of protection. Lamar Jackson also couldn't run well last year. Anybody who's watched football, probably people who haven't even watched football, you think of Lamar Jackson, one of the first things you think of is how dynamic he is as a runner. I mean, plain and simple. So let's do this. Let's play a game for a second. Everything I'm going to tell you is going to be the truth. Okay? So just listen to this. Lamar Jackson ran for over 1,000 yards in one season. Lamar Jackson ran for 900 yards in one season. Lamar Jackson ran for 800 yards in one season. Lamar Jackson ran for 700 yards in one season. Lamar Jackson ran for 349 yards last season. 1,000, 800, 900, 800. Last year, it was like close to 350. This is the same person or somebody? He was hurt. He had lack of protection. And even if obviously it's not going to be easy to run while you're hurt. You got to, and I believe they even came out and said it was a leg injury or a lower body injury, that pertained to him running, that affected his speed and whatnot. So it's already hard to run while you're hurt. We already know that. It's probably harder to run while you're hurt and you're getting half a second to, after you snap the ball, somebody right here in your face. So I can only, it was bad, man. I watched every game last year pretty much. It was bad. Some of them I wish I didn't see, but it is what it is. But that's why we say it now. It's a new era, man. It's a new era. This is why this is such a significant acquisition with Ethan Posick is because our 60% of our offensive line is different. Let's just say that. Our left guard is different, our center is different, and our right guard is different. Um, the guards, honestly, I'm gonna just come out and say it. Those are improvements, plain and simple. The Linderbaum, the center position, Ethan Posick, respectfully, is probably not quite up to Linderbaum, especially coming off an injury, but he's durable. He's been durable. He's been reliable. He don't give up a lot of sacks. So that we're about the same there. Let's just say that we're about the same there, and I'm cool with that. So with another issue I had with it was the receiving thing. If you look at the receiving, Zay Flowers, he had a great year last year. Put up over 1,000 yards again, back to back. Shout out to Zay Flowers. Mark Andrews had a pretty good year, minus the playoffs, but I forgive you. I don't know if y'all got over it yet. I forgive you, Mark, man. It was tough, but you did a lot for this organization, man, so I ain't going to hold that against you. But Mark Andrews had a good season. But after that, it get dry. On the receiving side, it get dry. Tez, he did his thing a little bit when he got the opportunities, but Tez only get a few opportunities. So, the 8 times he was out there, yeah, he had 5 good plays. But and shout out to Tez, by the way. But outside of that, our receiving group didn't do much. And like Bateman had a great year 2 years prior. I believe he had 9 receiving touchdowns last year, 2 touchdowns, like 224 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, I was excited to get D Hop, but I didn't think D Hop was gonna get 2 touchdowns and like 300 some yards. We stopped using him. That's not your fault, D Hop. Shout out to him. I wish we could have got you back, but business, I don't know, man. I wish we could have got you. Um, and just nobody really produced outside of Zay from a receiving point. But I thought about this too though. If you get sacked, or like I said earlier, you hike the ball, boom. I'm waiting on this guy to run his route. I'm waiting on Rashad Bateman to run his route. I'm waiting on D Hop to run his route, whatever. But this dude's right here in my face. As soon as I hike the ball, I can't get you the ball. So I didn't even understand how much that affects the receiving numbers as well. Because every receiver on this, like I said, outside of Zay Flowers, it was almost a joke. It was almost laughable because the numbers were so low. It was surprisingly low, especially you thinking like D Hop. You think D Hop's gonna go at least have 500 yards, 700 yards at least. Nah, man, barely cracked 300. Tez Walker barely cracked 300. Rashad Bateman didn't even crack 250, man. And I like Bateman. I'm a Bateman fan, man, but it was bad. But I realized it's directed or it's tied straight into the line, man. They're not getting the time they need, or Lamar Jackson's not getting the time he needs. He's not getting protection he needs. He's injured. He's always under duress. The receivers aren't having enough time to run their routes. It affected everybody in a negative way. Hence the 8-9, hence the missed the playoff, hence the firing from up top. And I love John Harbaugh, and I said this in my video before. I love John Harbaugh. He's a good coach, whatever. But these numbers are why you got fired, bro. And I say that with love, man. I'm glad you're in New York. I'm glad you're in New York. You got paid. But those numbers is what got you fired, bro. When you look and see like, oh, Lamar Jackson got sacked, 15 times in September. That's the beginning of the season. So as soon as we starting, Lamar Jackson, boom, 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 boom. You can't get him. This is our franchise quarterback, man. He just came off a 41-4 season, and you got him out here getting killed, and you ain't doing nothing about it. That was the thing, is that you ain't doing nothing about it. Okay, I can see if, you ain't out there blocking for him. That ain't your role. But you can say like, hey, man, let's get this dude out of here. He ain't doing his job right. Let's get this dude out here. Let's swap him. Let's try something else. And I'm gonna go a little different direction. I'm kind of glad that we do have the depth that we have at the other offensive line positions, because if y'all remember, we got Gwynn, we still got Penner, we still got Corey Bullock, and the good thing with them is to a certain extent they're interchangeable, because some of them have played guard before or center before or vice versa or tackle this. So if it ain't working out here, maybe we can slide him in, maybe we can put him here, maybe we can put him there. So even if Postage isn't elite, he isn't a Tyler Linderbaum, he's still interchangeable. He's still solid enough to where we can put him in there and you can be efficient. That's all we need. We don't need you to play at an incredibly high level. We just need you to play like, let's say, like a B. You go out there and play a B, not even a B plus. Give us a B, and we'll be fine. For our offensive line in general, give us a B, because we wasn't a B last year. I'll tell you that right now. But Ethan Postage is looking like a great sign. Like I say, I'm trying to cover a lot of this, but you got the receiving group was affected. You got Lamar Jackson's running was affected. You got Lamar Jackson's passing was affected. You got Lamar Jackson's health was affected. This is a good trade. Or a good pickup, I'm gonna say. Like I said, I'm gonna throw some numbers up here. I've thrown some numbers up here for some of you guys to look at, but man, it's a good thing, man. I mentioned it before. Our offensive line is different, and this is what I mean. You know, we actually got people in here that are gonna try. You know what I mean? And I don't say anything that, like, you know, down players, but I was out there watching, man. You know, I saw these games, man. They really weren't blocking, and the numbers are up here. I always say the numbers don't lie. The numbers are up here, man. You can't give up 7 sacks in one game on Lamar Jackson and expect him to go out here and perform at a high level. I don't know who you're expecting that from. 7 is like, even 5 sacks. I think when we played the Browns, we got sacked 5 times. You know, and that is, it's just amazing, man. I think this is the tie for the most, or like second most he's ever been sacked in his NFL career, and it's like, it shows. When he plays well when he is not sacked, man. I mean, it's significantly different. So I just feel like this is a great sign, and I'm very happy about it, and that is a huge reason why it's a good day to be a Raven. We're not going to undersell this trade. I know he's from Cleveland. Everybody's like, oh, he's a Cleveland Brown. No, this is a good pickup for us. We're slowly putting it together, man. And no, we haven't seen anything out there. But one thing I can say confidently is that it is an improvement from last season, hands down. And I've given you reasons why. This ain't just something I'm just making up. You know, I've given you the reasons why. You know, I got the proof in the pudding. These are facts. These ain't just my opinion or whatever. Some of it is, but most of this is facts. You know what I mean? Hence why I like to put up numbers, so I can let you guys know, like, this is really what's going on. I just like to put my context behind it to give you an understanding of why it works. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, I got plenty more to talk about, but for now, we're just going to enjoy this Ethan Postage signing, and we're going to enjoy the fact that our offensive line has improved. And I'll tell you what, history shows when Lamar Jackson gets blocked for, Lamar Jackson gets MVPs. Lamar Jackson throws for 41 and 4. You know what I mean? He runs over 1,000 yards and 900 yards and 800 yards. I'm ready to get back to that. And hopefully this season, that's what we're going to get into. But that's what we're looking forward to, because we've made some good improvements. Shout out to EDC, man. I hear EDC catch a lot of slack. I like EDC a lot. Shout out to Steve Bisciotti, man. Like, we've been doing our thing this year. Let's finally get Lamar Jackson one, man. We waited 9 seasons, you know, and that's cool. We had some good times, we had some bad times, but now we got our offensive line patched up. We signed another receiver, man. Our receiving group looks good. We had a good draft. Let's do it. Ethan Postage, man. Welcome to Baltimore. And I'm going to leave y'all with that. It's your boy Eastside Hood G, man. And as always, it's a good day to be a Raven. Appreciate y'all stopping in. Like I said, you know we're going to have plenty more, man. This ain't the last one. I'm going to have plenty more for y'all, man, because it's always a good day to be a Raven. So it's always going to be plenty to talk about. It's your boy Eastside Hood G. Appreciate y'all stopping in. I'm going to hit y'all up. Hey, man, I just want to give a shout out to Raheem, man. Still. Fallen soldiers gone too soon. If you know, you know, man. Nigga, you ain't got the juice. You just acting like you do. Boy, you just pretending like your crew. I'ma wipe your nose, you ain't even got the flu. You be talking that gorilla shit, my niggas from the zoo. You ain't really got the juice. You just acting like you do. Boy, you just pretending like your crew. I'ma wipe your nose, you ain't even got the flu. You be talking that gorilla shit, my niggas from the zoo. You ain't really got the. Mix the Henny with the iced tea. Hawaiian punch with Patron, that's a icy.
flow colder than the fruit punch high C. I keep it G and that's the reason they don't like me. But I ain't here to entertain you. I'm not. I ain't tryna hold you up or sustain you at all. If you ever hurt my kids, I will hang you. Love 'em. Minus God, no one else to explain to.